Bodybuilding and rehab. Bodybuilding and rehab in general. I'm going to give kind of an overview today. Then I'm going to talk more specifically about back pain, lumbar, back pain, discogenic, facetogenic. I have people avoid bodybuilding, and this can apply to the shoulder and the knee and the hip and the back all in one. But I'm going to give you my overarching theme, and then I'm going to get specific with back pain today. For those that don't know, my name is Brian Carroll. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm a McGill Method certified provider, having power lifted for over 21 years and ending on a high note of being the first person to squat over 1,300 pounds. I now work with people all over the world from both a virtual standpoint and in person here in Jacksonville, Florida, with injury, resilience, and performance enhancement. I'm not giving you medical advice. For more information, go to poweractstrength.com. Thank you so much. Enjoy this video. Now, I've worked with a good deal of bodybuilders over the years, and they are some of the most difficult people to coach, similar to powerlifters. Why is that? Because the type of person that bodybuilding and powerlifting attracts is a type A personality, someone who's an addict to training, an addict to looking in the mirror, someone that their whole self-esteem is built on what they see in the mirror or what they see in video, and they are addicted to training and repeating and posting stuff on Instagram and all this stuff. It's their whole identity. These are some of the hardest people to get through to. Now, for the shoulder and the knee and stuff, I get that some of these things can be helpful, but generally speaking, depending on what type of shoulder injury you have, the bodybuilding stuff might be great for you, or it might completely waste away your shoulder. You've got to get specific. Let's talk about the shoulder for a minute. Simply doing bodybuilding overhead presses and a crap load of side raises might be what you need to strengthen your shoulder a bit, but it depends on what's going on with your shoulder. Instead, you got to be a little bit more pointed with your exercises. Trying some things like the shoulder big three from lock, the thoracic extension from lock to make sure you have enough shoulder mobility or T-spine mobility so your shoulders aren't getting cranked on. All of these things matter. So instead of just haphazardly doing some swings and overhead presses on the machine, bodybuilding stuff that will make your shoulders look better, think about strengthening your shoulder in multiple directions. And then at the end of the day, you might need to get an MRI. You might need to get with a shoulder specialist, like an Andrew Locke or Joe Camisa or a Clayton Skaggs. These are all guys that are really good with the neck and the shoulder. That's not my wheelhouse. Now, bodybuilding can be very helpful, but remember, bodybuilding is for hypertrophy, building bigger muscles, not building strength and stability. Some of the bodybuilders that I see with some of the best physiques in the world have the most unstable and rickety and rackety and wobbly spines you will ever see. They're all show and no-go, some of them. Not to say that there aren't beasts like Ronnie Coleman that existed and Dexter Jackson, who I've seen lift huge amounts of weights that could win powerlifting meets, but most of them train in a way to build muscle and not to build multi-joint stability, endurance, and strength. Looking for the answer to your sleepless nights, sore muscles, and better overall well-being? If so, PowerAct Strength CBD has you covered. All of our products are made of CBD isolate and have 0% THC, meaning there are no worries of failing a drug test or the worry of feeling high. With PowerAct Strength CBD, we offer a wide range of products and payment options to ensure you have the option that best fits your needs. Don't just take it from me. All of our reviews and client testimonials on our site speak for themselves. You can even get 20% off your order by using code YT1306 at checkout. Go to poweractstrengthcbd.com to order now so you can get back to sleeping, recovering, lifting, feeling, and being better. When it comes to back pain, one of the biggest mistakes I see is people get away from, they're not even bodybuilders, but they think, I'm just going to go and do the machines for a little bit. So I stopped squatting, benching, and deadlifting. This is pretty common with powerlifters. I'm going to stop squatting, benching, and deadlifting, and I'm going to go all do machines because that's better for my back, right? Well, you got to check out my video. If we haven't dropped it yet, I talk about don't sit when you can stand when you exercise, in particular when you're rehabbing. So check out that video, or it'll be up soon if it's not up yet. But sometimes when people regress from a squat and go to a hack squat or a leg press, they get significantly worse because it's not a natural movement. They end up cranking themselves. A flexion is their pain generator, and compression in a leg press or a hack squat that keeps you in one pathway where you're not moving naturally and allowing the natural curve and the way your hips are shaped and all that stuff. That can sometimes be their their undoing, their absolute undoing. Even worse, sometimes people go to the Smith machine instead of the free weight, and they think that's going to be their savior when they're still loading an axial load and compression, and they're further smashing their back up, and they think, oh, I'm doing Smith machine, everything's going to be great now, or I'm doing a hack squat, or I'm doing a leg press. Even worse, when people stop doing exercises like squats and deadlifts, which they should in many cases, depending on the type of back injury that they have, but then they go over to the leg extension machine where they have to stiffen down proximally. They might be flexion and compression intolerant, and they go and just start flexing and extending their knee, and they're pulling on their cord where they have neural drag or neural tension, and they just wonder why their back, not just from the compression, but from the nerve friction they're creating over and over, their back gets worse and worse and worse. That's an example. The lying leg curl or the seated leg curl is one of the worst. There's commonalities here. Bodybuilding is not the way you're going to rebuild your spine. In a lot of ways, it's not going to be the way you rebuild your pecs, your shoulders, your knees, but we're going to focus on the back for this particular video. Some of these exercises that you think are more spine friendly are absolutely the worst thing that you should be doing. In most cases, you should shut down all of your lifting and then start over after you've identified the cause, you've read back mechanic, you read gift of injury. Then you slowly start rebuilding with variations of the big three and things that are more difficult. Further beyond that, with variations of carries, sled drags, I would take 100 times out of 100 times over a seated leg extension or leg curl. And then you can do these in different planes and different ways of pulling the sled, pushing the sled. There's unlimited ways that you can utilize the free weight and not bodybuild and rebuild the spine. So don't deceive yourself. If you're out there and you're still doing the machines around your gym, you're not doing much free weight, and you're still having back pain. Again, what type of back pain we got to talk about? You need an assessment. Is it ligament? Is it facet? Is it disc? Is it nerve? All these things have to be considered. Is it compression, extension, flexion, lateral flexion, rotation, shear? All these things matter. So if you're doing the machines on the outskirts of the gym and you're still having pain and you haven't been able to solve it, shut those things down. Go back to the basics. Reach out to me if you need help. Brian at powerxstrength.com or powerxstrength.com for more about me, and get rid of the bodybuilding. Bodybuilding and just lifting light and pumping blood in your back, while it can be helpful for the knee or the shoulder or the arms, just simply pumping blood in your back, doing back extensions over and over, especially if flexion and extension and compression and shear are your pain triggers, you are not likely to get any better, and you're just further exacerbating yourself while you think or believe incorrectly you're being easier on your spine. But remember, it's all about your pain generators, what makes you feel better for a period of time, what worsens your pain, what provokes your pain, removing that. And then if you're a bodybuilder, fine, you can get back to doing those things, but you got to give the machines and lifting a rest for some time. The rebuilds are the difficult part, and I don't think that bodybuilding should be a part of your rebuilding routine because it isolates muscles and doesn't use multiple muscles that cross joints that would create the type of spinal endurance and core endurance that you need to become healthy once again.
Hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, like, subscribe, share, click the notifications because we drop videos twice a week. We also have a live stream every Friday where I answer your questions. Click below to see the latest video that we uploaded. Also, for our products, our CBD, our books that correspond with these videos, it's down in the description. For more information about all things Brian Carroll and PowerX Strength, go to powerxstrength.com. You can book a consult both virtually and in person with me. Enjoy your week, and thank you so much.